Hey guys, coming at you again with another Stephen King video. Today I wanted to switch things up a little bit and talk about his books that aren't necessarily considered horror novels. Now, when you hear the name Stephen King, the first thing that comes to mind, obviously for most people, is that he's a horror writer. But there are actually a handful of novels that wouldn't fall under that genre. So today I want to go through 5 of those books and just discuss why they aren't considered horror novels. Before I get into it, if you like this kind of content, if you love Stephen King, if you just love reading books, hit subscribe down below, hit like, and join the conversation. Alright, so the first book I want to discuss today that doesn't fall under the horror genre is 11/22/63. This is more historical fiction than anything else. Stephen King himself even said that he read about a stack of books about as tall as he was in order to prepare himself for this novel on the Kennedy assassination. So there are a lot of facts involved, but it is fiction. What he did with the whole time travel element of it was masterful. Basically, real quickly, it follows Jake Epping, who goes back in time in order to prevent the Kennedy assassination. And it really is a hell of a ride. I mean, if you pick this one up, it's a page turner. I can guarantee you, you'll get your money's worth with this one. The next book I want to discuss is The Green Mile. This was one of the best movie adaptations, in my opinion, that Hollywood has done with any of his novels. Real quick, it follows John Coffey, who's on death row. This book, I wouldn't consider it horror. There are supernatural elements to it, but it's more in a religious sense, in my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong, by all means. But it's not a scary novel at all, so that's why I wouldn't consider it horror. It is a great read. In case you didn't know, this novel originally was published into different 6, I believe, serial novels, real thin serial novels. You can buy a hardcover just like this one, which is the complete novel. So yeah, this one is a good read, a very good read. If you like the movie, I would consider reading the book because although it is similar, the book adds just a little bit more. So if you loved the movie, you'll really enjoy the book because it kind of expands upon the story a little bit. All right, another one is The Eyes of the Dragon. This is a pretty good read. It's a change of pace from what Stephen King usually does. It's got kind of a fantasy medieval element to it. Now, this does have tie-ins to the Dark Tower series. So, I mean, if you love all that fun stuff, that's an added bonus. So yeah, I mean, it's, like I said, it's in the medieval times. It's got some recognizable characters from some of his other works, which is always fun. And The Eyes of the Dragon, a little bit of a thinner read, not one of his longer ones, but The Eyes of the Dragon was definitely an entertaining ride, especially if you like the whole fantasy genre. This is the one for you. Another one is The Colorado Kid. A quick, easy read. You could probably get through this one in one sitting. This is a nice little hardcover copy I picked up by PS Publishing. Usually, I can only find this one in softcover, but the hardcover is actually quite nice. Sorry, to get away from the content there. This one is more of a murder mystery. A dead body washes up on the beach and our lovable characters have to kind of piece the puzzle together and kind of figure out exactly how it got there. Colorado Kid, like I said, a pretty easy read, but good nonetheless. All right, and the last one I want to talk about today is Dolores Claiborne. I wasn't 100% sure about putting this one on the list, but evidently here it is. I wouldn't consider this one a horror novel. It definitely has some elements, horror elements to it, but overall, I just wouldn't put it there. So basically, it follows Dolores Claiborne. The entire story, by the way, is one chapter. There's no breaks. It's just her confessing her story to the police, which is kind of cool. So basically, she's confessing to the murder of her husband, and she's telling, I guess, her side of the story. This book also has a connection to Gerald's Game. The eclipse that happens in this book is the same eclipse that happens in Gerald's Game. So that is kind of cool. There is a slight reference to it. So in true King fashion, he loves interconnecting all his stories together. So it was pretty cool how he did that. Dolores Claiborne is a page turner. It's a pretty quick read. Like I said, no chapters, no breaks. So you can kind of just immerse yourself into it and get through it pretty quick. Alright guys, thanks for checking out my video. Once again, if you like this kind of content, if you love reading, if you love Stephen King, subscribe below. I love bringing you these videos, and we'll talk to you guys soon.